usual, I invite you to take a good sitting position. Sit tall and turn your attention inwards. Just follow your breath in and out of your body. And on every exhalation, just letting go of your day. Letting go of that which does not serve you. Begin to lengthen your breathing, making your exhalation a little bit longer than your inhalation, but without effort. And to ground and center ourselves this evening, we'll open the practice with 3 ohms. You might like to join in or not. I invite you to bring your hands as if in prayer to your heart, and either eyes open with soft gaze or closed and turn your attention inwards. Exhale, inhale. 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 Rise, release your hands. And the theme of the practice this evening is joy. So you might like to take a moment now, we just sit for a minute and make an intention around joy for your practice, and then joy, how it shows up for you in your life. Just close your eyes. Just contemplating that sense of joy, maybe even feel it in your body. Feel the sensation of joy. And if you're not particularly feeling joyful at the moment, perhaps you have a memory of joy in your life, and feel the sensation of that. Just feeling where it occurs in your body. And we'll move into our practice. We'll do a little bit of breathing at the end of the practice, between the end of the yin and the start of the yoga nidra, a couple of minutes. So just as a reminder, when we come into our pose, we come to a place of stillness and quietness, and we hold it for a length of time. And how we go deeper into it is that we hold the pose longer if need be. And again, just as a reminder to you, if it's too much for you, it feels like too much, just back out of the pose, take it easy and wait for the next pose to come along. So this evening we're moving through a series that we haven't done for a while, which is the Dragon series. And so it can be quite a strong series. I find it useful to have blocks or a couple of tins. Will do the same thing. You can put your hands on tins just to bring yourself a little higher in the pose. Yogi's choice. So I'll just demo the first pose to you. It looks like this. Right knee forward, and possibly only time in yoga where the knee is way over the toes. So you can see that my hands are up, and then I'm placing my hands on the blocks, to keep my torso quite upright. So knees forward, back leg is stretched out, my torso is upright, and I'm just lightly using them really as a balance. So make your way into that, and I'll set the watch. And we'll be here for 2 minutes. An adjustment to make to my camera. And then switch over, smoothly over onto the other leg. Left foot forward. Move the knee forward. Stretch the other leg out behind you and torso upright. And gently moving out of that, come into reclined child's pose as a recovery pose. So lying on your back, knees into your chest, Knees together and just hugging your knees into your chest, and we're here for a couple of minutes. And then moving from that back into the dragon series. So this time your right knee is forward and your torso upright and your hands are on your knee, and we're here for 2 minutes. Lower your hands and switch feet again to the other side. And by now the fire of the dragon is beginning to kick in and we'll really begin to feel it. And so if you need to come out of the pose a little earlier, do if it feels right for your body. So left knee forward, upright. such a simple pose, yet it's quite fiery. And release your hands to the floor. And come into cat-cow for a recovery pose. Exhale, round your back up, and inhale and sinking down between your shoulder blades. And just a few movements through that, just to give yourself a little bit of movement. Now we'll come in into squat for a couple of minutes. So come onto your feet and feet wide apart. Turn your toes out, inviting your heels to come to the floor. If this doesn't work for you, roll up a mat under the backs of your heels, so place a cushion. And we're just hanging out here for a couple of minutes. Another way is to lean against the wall behind you. again, releasing yourself out of that pose. And we're back into dragon, and this time it's twisted dragon. And this time, instead of our knees over our ankles, so our shin is vertical, and you're walking your back leg way back. I'll actually do it on the other leg so you can see what I'm doing. You're walking your back leg way behind you, and you come down onto your elbow. If this is not an option for you, you can stay up on your arm. But what you're doing is you're placing your, let me just check, hand on your knee, and you're just looking over your left shoulder. That's what it looks like there. You'll be down on your elbow if you wish. Twisted dragon. And release your hands to the floor. And very gingerly make your way out of that and switch legs over onto the other side. And then either stay up on your hand on your knee, or elbow on the floor and your hand on your knee. And we're back into it. And seeing where can you find joy in your practice. And again, coming out of that, we'll just do a little bit of windshield wiper for a moment. Just from side to side, just to connect our hips together again. And now we'll move into, pardon me, toe crusher. So knees together, heels together, sitting up straight, or if it's just too much for you, you can put your hands on blocks. And coming out of that, we're moving into the last dragon, which I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear. It's called gecko. So right foot forward, your back knee is stretched out behind you, your elbows are down on the floor, or your elbows are on blocks if you can't get your elbows to the floor, so whatever feels right for you. And then just head towards the floor, and we're here for 2 minutes. Just breathing into where you're now feeling it in dragon. And we'll switch to the other side, moving slowly and gently. So our hip flexors are talking to us. Coming out of that one, we'll make our way into windshield wiper. Experience the joy of ending the Dragon series. Moving your knees from side to side. Just checking your upper body hasn't divorced itself from the lower part of your body. It's really quite a strong practice, the Dragon series. Doesn't tend to be a popular one. Okay, we're going to come into twisted roots, lying on our back. Clasp your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, elbows on the floor, and then knees bent, heels in front of hips, and lift your right leg and wrap it around the left leg. And if you can, take the double wrap. If not, outside chin is fantastic. And then roll over onto your left hip and bring in the inner part of your right knee to the floor, endeavouring to keep your shoulders on the floor, your elbows on the floor. And just feel how good that feels. What a lovely stretch in your back, the abdominal area, parts we haven't really been in today. A welcome release and relief from the last couple of poses. On every exhalation, softening and letting go into the floor. And bring your knees back to centre and switch the cross of your legs. Lift your left leg, cross the left thigh over the right, roll over onto your right hip and bring your inner left knee to the floor and keep your hands behind your head, your shoulders on the floor, elbows on the floor if that's available for you. And again, just relaxing on every out breath. And start to uncurl your way out of that and just come into lying on your back. We're going to do a little bit of diaphragmatic ribcage breathing to prepare us for the second part of our practice, the Yoga Nidra practice. So if you want to get a blanket now and cover yourself up, or get something to cover your eyes or turn down the lights, just take a minute to do it. And we'll start in a minute's time. Okay. Coming into a comfortable position, lying on your back. Stretch your arms out. Stretch your legs out. And then bend your knees and place your heels in front of your hips on the floor. Allow your knees to lean towards each other to support each other. And keeping your knees bent, move your feet away from each other. So your knees are leaning towards each other and your feet are quite far away from each other. And then taking the palms of your hands, place them on your rib cage with your tips of your fingers pointing towards your sternum. You might wish to support your elbows in some way on cushions, but you don't have to, it's up to yourself. And so now focusing just on the rib cage area of your torso. On every inhalation, inviting the ribs to move out, expand out to the sides, and on every inhalation, inviting you should feel your hands moving closer towards each other. It is only on the movement of the breath. It's not something that you're manually doing or physically doing. Your breath is doing it for you. So we're going to do a number of rounds of diaphragmatic ribcage breathing, and of course it strengthens the ribcage and it expands the elasticity of the lungs, and it's a great strengthener and healer if you've had any respiratory problems in the recent past, and also it expands your capacity to for future illness. So just set my watch here, and we'll be working on taking 10 breaths at a time. So exhale and inhale and start to take 10 breaths and breathing just into the rib cage area of your torso. Minimal movement on your lower abdomen, minimal movement of your upper chest. It's a very calming breath. It's ideal for a pre-Yoga Nidra practice. And it's a great way to relax yourself quickly if you need it. Single point concentration on your breath. And your next exhalation, make it your last exhalation and return to normal breathing. Take a few breaths. For our next round, I invite you to stretch your arms out behind you, place them on the floor, either side of your ears, point your palms towards each other. And again, if your arms are waving around in the air and don't reach the floor, see if you can get a cushion or something under your arms to support them. And again, focusing on the ribcage area only. Exhale and inhale, and off you go. Take another 10 breaths. And in no way should your breath be forced or extended. It's fairly normal breathing. Your next exhalation, make it your last exhalation and return to the home pose. Place your hands on the sides of your ribs, tips of your fingers pointing towards each other. Your knees are still bent, feet are still on the outer edges of the mat. And take another 10 breaths, breathing into the ribcage area only. And your next exhalation, make it your last exhalation. Return to normal breathing and take a number of normal breaths. Just feeling whatever sensations are there for you right now. And now, for the next bit of our breathing, we're lifting our arms overhead, laying them on the floor behind us, point palms towards each other, and we're stretching out our legs. Move your feet out quite far away from each other to the outer edges of the mat if you're lying on a mat, and bringing your attention once more to the ribcage area. Another 10 breaths, working on expanding the width of your ribs out to the side, a bit like an accordion. Visualize an accordion as it plays as a musical instrument. So visualize your ribs. On every time it fills up like a balloon, your ribs go out to the side, and every time your air goes out of your ribs come closer together. It's a little bit harder because your hands are not on your ribs to guide you. And your next exhalation, make it your last exhalation, and return your hands, your legs into the home pose. So your hands are on your ribs, fingers are pointing towards each other, and your knees are bent, knees leaning towards each other, feet wide away from each other. And take another 10 breaths, and again, ribcage only. Your next exhalation, make it your last exhalation and return to normal breathing. And now prepare for a yoga nidra. Stretch your arms out, stretch your legs out, turn your palms up. You might like to cover yourselves with a blanket. And just take a couple of breaths and just sigh it out, relaxing, letting go. So the theme for this evening is joy and gratitude. Life, with all its ups and downs, can sometimes distract you from the state of simply being. A state of body and mind in which you feel whole, healthy, grounded, and deeply connected to yourself and everything in the cosmos, without the need to fix, change, or heal anything. So how do you tap into these feelings? During this practice, we will be exploring this. The first step is to affirm your intention to do so. And the second step is to glimpse the surprisingly accessible, universal life force that animates every atom, molecule and cell throughout your body and the cosmos. And the third step is simply to practice and nourish the feeling of simply being. Making yourself even more comfortable. Allow your senses to perceive the sights and sounds of your surroundings. The touch of air on your skin and sensations where your body makes contact with the surface that's supporting it, upon which you are resting. Taking a moment, relax your jaws, eyes, shoulders, arms and hands, torso, hips, legs and feet. Now rest your attention on the sensations created by the gentle expansion and release of your belly as your breath comes into and flows out of the body. And take a moment to return to your intention for the practice of joy and gratitude. And you might like to consider, what is it that your heart most deeply longs for? And invite that in with a word or image. Allow your imagination to bring it to life in this moment. Feeling that your desire is met right here and now. And might you notice where you feel that in your body? Tune into the feeling of it. Being drawn to that which you love. And allowing yourself to be guided by it, we return to it over and over. Each time we come to practice, we revisit our inner sanctuary, our own place of refuge. That place that supports us, giving us a sense of safety, a sense of ease, comfort, and strength. So in today's practice, I invite you to deepen your experience of being and well-being. Being is the feeling of presence you experience when you're momentarily still, or when you pause between two breaths, two thoughts, or two actions. Or it might be a feeling you experience after you finish a task before moving to the next task. Or perhaps when you sit back and take a moment to rest, breathe, and experience having nothing to do. You bask in a deep inner sigh of ah. When you are in touch with being, with wholeness, other innate aspects of yourself, such as love, kindness, compassion, joy and peace, naturally arise. And as you're resting here, between two thoughts or two breaths, notice where and how you experience the sensation of being. You may experience it as an internal feeling of warmth or presence, perhaps in your belly or heart, or indeed in other parts of the body. Keep your attention on these sensations. Might any of these words describe your experience? Peaceful, calm, loving, secure, heart-centered, easeful, grounded, connected, spacious, well-being. Feel the sensation of it in your body. Now bring attention to feeling the physical body. Allow sensations to arise as we bring attention to the feeling of the tongue resting in the mouth. Welcome what you come across without judgment, simply welcoming sensations as we come to them. Sensations inside the mouth, softness of it, the teeth, gums, the back of your throat, the inner top of your mouth, the root of your tongue. Observing any sensations as a radiance, as an aliveness in your mouth. Warmness, moistness, your lips. Do they feel dry or moist? Feeling the sensitivity of your lips. Now allowing your attention to come to your ears, the outside edges of them, the shapes of them, the contours of your ears, your inner ears. Can you sense the ears as sensation? Allowing your attention to move cheeks, nose, noticing any smells and sensations they might conjure up. Follow the sensations up into your eyes. Begin with the left eye, the eyeball, eye socket, eyebrows, eyelashes. Notice the edges of your eyes, the whole area of the left eye. Now slide your attention over to the right eye, the eyeball, the eye socket, eyebrows, eyelashes, feeling the edges of your eyes, the whole area of the right eye, and sensing both eyes at the same time. Moving your attention to your forehead, cheek, chin, following the flow of sensation to your neck, scalp, and the whole head. Feel the back of your head lying on the mat. Feel the cool air around your forehead. Following the sensations to your left shoulder, arm, elbow, and hand. Feeling into the left palm of the hand. Spaces between the fingers. Sensations in the tips of your fingers. This is the whole hand, forearm, elbow, shoulder, the whole left arm. Now bring attention across to the right shoulder, following the sensations into your right upper arm, elbow, hand, feeling into the palm of the right hand, the spaces between your fingers, the sensations in the tips of your fingers, sensing the whole hand, forearm, elbow, shoulder, the whole right arm. Just sensing both hands and arms at the same time. A felt sense of life flowing through you, a felt sense of being. And bringing your attention into the torso, feeling the upper back of your torso and chest, the mid-back and ribs, the lower back and belly, the left and right hand side of the torso, the front and back of the torso, sensing your internal organs, a felt sense of life flowing through you, a felt sense of being. Again, once more, shifting our attention, left hip, left thigh, knee, shin and calf, ankle, and the soft sole of the foot and toes. Sense the whole left leg from toe to hip and hip to toe. Moving your attention to your right hip, thigh, knee, shin and calf, the ankle, and the soft sole of the right foot and toes. Sense the whole right leg from toe to hip and hip to toe. Feeling both legs together, sensations arising and welcoming everything, our feet and legs that carry us through the world and ground us in the earth. Feeling sensations throughout your legs and feet. Sensing your legs, torso, arms, face and head, your entire body as a field of sensation, pure sensation. Cool air flowing in and warm air flowing out. Following the breath. Moving from the external to the internal and the internal to the external. Following that natural flow. You might like to try the Ujjayi ocean breath, constricting the back of the throat, gently extending your breath on the out breath without force. Sensing the body breathing itself. Receiving your breath, observing and following sensations, a felt sense of breathing, of being. Continuing this pattern of breath at your own pace. Allowing the breath now to return to its own natural rhythm. Sense everything that is arising. Thoughts, sounds, feeling how this awareness that you are does not change, does not move. Simply observes. Feeling that stillness. Perhaps noticing the contents of any passing thoughts, emotions, beliefs, different sensations. Whatever is present, simply being aware. You might like to locate a feeling of joy or gratitude in your body. This could be a feeling of connection, well-being, peace, happiness, or any sensation that feels like joy to you. If it's helpful, bring to mind a memory of a person, animal, place or object that holds joy for you. And notice where or how you experience that joy or gratitude in your body. Perhaps it's a warm feeling in your heart or a glow in your belly. Welcome and allow the feeling of joy to grow and spread throughout the body, allowing gratitude to saturate every part of your body that feels or has felt unhappy. Now pair your joy and gratitude with an opposite stressful sensation, emotion, or belief, or with a particular stressor in your life. Feeling how this stressful thought, emotion, or situation affects your body and mind. Now alternate between experience the feeling of joy and the stressor. Then feel both at the same time, letting joy spread it throughout your body, even as you feel the stressor. When it feels right, let go of all opposites, allowing yourself to feel only gratitude and joy for no reason at all. When you're ready, you might like to open and close your eyes several times while affirming your intention to feel gratitude and joy throughout your day. Then go about your activities knowing that gratitude and joy are always with you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whomever you're with, helping you feel connected to yourself and the world around you. And an understanding that you always know the perfect response to each moment as you take this time to welcome your deepest knowing, thanking yourself for taking this time to practice I Rest Yoga Nidra. This brings to a close this I Rest practice, focusing on beliefs. Thanking you for joining with me this evening, and we'll see you all next week.